Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
BBC News World.
March 4th. 4:39 America, New York. Watch. Russian TV staff walk off set after final broadcast. Channel TV Rain stops operating after coming under pressure over its coverage of the war in Ukraine. Washington Post World.
March 4th. 4:35 America, New York. Blinken meets NATO allies in Brussels as Russian troops continue their offensive in Ukraine. The visit comes as Russian troops seize control of a nuclear plant and encircle Ukrainian cities.
RT World News.
March 4th. 4:29 America, New York. Russia reacts to U.S. Senator's Putin assassination plea. Senator Lindsey Graham's call for a plot to kill the Russian president is unacceptable and outrageous, Russian ambassador to the U.S. said.
Mirror World News.
March 4th. 4:16 America, New York. Boy, 5, dies 2 days after parents and sister, 10, killed as they fled Kyiv in car. Semyon, 5, has been in critical care since the attack by Russian thugs killed his parents and 10-year-old sister Polina, leaving 13-year-old Sofia as the only survivor so far.
Fox World News.
March 4th. 2:20 America, New York. House Dem says Russia will never control Ukrainian people. War also a tragedy for Russian people. U.S. Representative Tom Malinowski of New Jersey, born in Poland, says there is no way Putin wins against the Ukrainian people.
New York Times World News.
March 4th. 035 America, New York. What to read about the Russia-Ukraine war. Our reporters have been covering the crisis, from documenting military movement and the refugee exodus on the ground to analyzing global geopolitical developments. The village of Dakhny, just north of Odessa, Ukraine.
Fox World News.
March 4th. 021 America, New York. Macron fears worst is yet to come from Putin after tense phone call. French President Emmanuel Macron said he's convinced the worst is yet to come from Russian President Vladimir Putin after a tense 90-minute call between the two leaders Thursday, according to reports.
New York Times World News.
March 4th. 004 America, New York. Washington's newest worry, the dangers of cornering Putin. Surprised by the speed at which sanctions have been poured on Russia, Biden's top aides suspect that Putin's reaction will be to double down and lash out, and perhaps expand the war. Russian President Vladimir V. BBC News World.
March 4th. 001 America, New York. Europe's largest nuclear plant shelled in Ukraine. Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant is hit during shelling in Ukraine.
Washington Post World.
March 4th. 001 America, New York. Europe awakens to the Russian threat. After years of sleepwalking through Russian aggression, Europe is finally stirring. Time. March 3rd. 23:39 America, New York. A father mourns his son, 16, who was killed by bombardment while playing soccer. Mariupol, Ukraine. The surgeons leaving the operating room don't make eye contact. One of them holds up his hands. Another looks down, defeated. It's then that the father waiting at the doorway grabs his forehead, tears welling, and turns away, a wail about to escape his throat.
CNN World News. March 3rd. 2326 America, New York. Grab shares crash nearly 40% after posting a $1 billion loss. Grab, the Southeast Asian startup known for its super app, had a terrible Thursday.
Mirror World News.
March 3rd. 2243 America, New York. Putin raining down nuclear terror and will cover world in nuclear ash, Ukraine says. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said Vladimir Putin had carried out the world's first nuclear terror after an attack at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant which led to a fire.
Time.
March 3rd. 2122 America, New York. Ex-cop found not guilty in shooting during Breonna Taylor raid. Louisville, Kentucky. A former Kentucky police officer was found not guilty Thursday on charges he endangered neighbors the night he fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment during a botched drug raid that resulted in Taylor's death.
WorldCBSNews.com.
March 3rd. 2043 America, New York. Europe's largest nuclear power plant on fire after shelling. A government official said that elevated levels of radiation were detected near the site of the Ukrainian plant.
WorldCBSNews.com. March 3rd. 1941 America, New York. What is a Russian oligarch? The U.S. is vowing to go after their yachts, luxury apartments and private jets. But what are oligarchs? And how is their wealth connected to Russia's invasion of Ukraine?